Welcome to Overtime with Jared P. and Johnny O. We got a really cool episode. Johnny got to go to a cool event to see not only his hero, but many people's hero, not only in sports, but in business. Magic Johnson live. That's awesome.
It was
And
terrific.
we'll talk a little bit about LaMelo Ball and the Hornets, the controversy surrounding that, with LaMelo Ball injuring by accident, some say on purpose, Bam. And then the Masters with the two-time winner, Rory McIlroy. All right, Johnny, but before we get into that, our presenting sponsor, Elite Performance Chiropractic, he wishes, former NFL player Jeremy Phillips. He's great. Elite Performance Chiropractic, get you feeling better than ever. Bam could go there. Bam might need them. They help you with all sorts of injuries and getting back better than ever. And it's not just for athletes. They focus on athletes, but they can help anybody with state-of-the-art technology and treatments. Elite Performance Chiropractic, Greensboro and Winston-Salem.
Nice.
All right. So you got to go. I want to hear all about this Magic Johnson event.
Well, I tell you, man, I kept seeing it on Facebook, and I'm getting emails from, Wake Forest University puts on, it's called Face to Face, and they've had all kinds of stars and, big, not only athletes, but, actors and all that. And they do that face to face. It's like an interview up on stage in front of everybody. And I kept seeing Magic Johnson coming to town. They had Peyton Manning, I guess, there last year. And I'm like, I got to go see this guy, man. He's coming to my backyard. And, he's seriously, Jared, he's my all-time favorite athlete. I got a lot of favorite athletes, but he's that guy. And there's a reason. I just remember him just loving the game of basketball, playing it like he loved it. And to me, I still really look at him as like someone that can play every position. That's the only guy I could see that could excel at every position on the basketball court. And he proved it a few times. So I said, man, I got to go. And I kept putting it off. And Kim kept saying, well, I'll go with you. And I go, it's $100 a ticket. I go, I'll go by myself. I don't care. And I was thinking about going by myself. Then my daughter was coming into town and she loves going to stuff like this with me. And I'm like, oh my God, you're staying with us Tuesday night, Magic Johnson. She goes, I'm there. Let's do it. So we went. Nice crowd, very good crowd. It's the last one of the face-to-face this year. Very nice event, right in the Lawrence Joel, Veterans Memorial Arena. And Jay Billis was the interviewer, which I thought was kind of cool because he's very funny and he's just class plus. And Magic Johnson, and they put on a show. First, it was like two chairs just sitting there. They were just chatting for about 10 or 15 minutes. And then Magic pulled his magic. He goes, Jay, why are we sitting here, man? He goes, I like being up and about. I'm gonna go down into the crowd a little bit. I mean, that's why I love him. And I go, and let me stop there real quick, Jared. And I have nothing against Michael Jordan, okay? But Michael Jordan would never do something like that. Everything is hands off. Don't touch me. Stay back. All that. Magic is that, hands on, man. He wants to, he was hugging the ladies. He was having little kids chest bump him, when he was telling stories. And these like 12 or 13-year-old kids were doing it. He would pull them out of the crowd and just be part of it, man. He made you part of it like he's done his whole career, okay? Telling stories, and I knew it was going to be a lot about basketball, obviously, but I thought it was going to be more about, the business world and all that. Shoot, it was 80% just basketball stories. And it was, when you're in LA and your name is Magic Johnson, it's just, think about that life. And he's very happy with Cookie, his wife. They're doing all kinds of great things. He owns, everything, okay? Starbucks and movie theaters and whatever. The Los Angeles Dodgers he owns. And, I'll just mention one thing that kind of gave me the chill. And the way he was just saying, I'm a kid from East Lansing, grew up with, 6 or 7 siblings. And, they were poor, not poor, they got by, they had food on the table, but, when you had, 11 people in the household or 12 people, it's, it's tough. And he goes, just the other day or last year for the World Series, we're playing Toronto, and Cookie and I finally looked at each other. He goes, it took all these years. He goes, we're up in the, the box, the owner's box of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I looked at Cookie and I said, we're owners of the Los Angeles Dodgers, man. We're in the World Series in Game 7. That's when it hit him. He looked back. He said, "Do you remember when we had to buy 2-for-1 pizzas from Domino's when we were in college together, and we could barely do that?" He goes, and now he goes, we're up here. What? How does that happen?
I love
So he was
that.
real thankful about everything. Thankful, to God and. He's just a class act, man. I just think he's such a great guy, and he's in great shape. He wakes up at 4:00 in the morning, 4 to 6 he works out, and then he starts his work day.
Holy cow! Yeah,
66 years old.
man, that's wild.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad you got
it's
to go to that.
wild.
Magic Johnson is such an inspiration, and he's so magical, literally. And that now $1 billion smile that he has is incredible, man. So that's really cool to see an icon like that. And it's also crazy to hear there are guys like that are 66 years old. Michael Jordan, 63. They're, the age of their grandfathers. It's crazy to me.
Yep.
But it happens. It definitely happens. All right, let's hit our other sponsors before we get into LaMelo Ball and the Heat and the Hornets.
You got it. Estate Jewelry and Loan. Something old, something new. Estate Jewelry has a great selection of new and estate jewelry. You can really find a nice, unique piece for any occasion. You can find Estate Jewelry Loan at 2511 Battleground Ave and go on the internet at estatejewelryloan.com. He's got a great website with all his good stuff. Salsarita's Fresh Mexican Grill, located in High Point at the Palladium and in Greensboro in the Target Shopping Center on New Garden Road. He's got a food truck, catering, daily specials. Go to salsaritas.com. And then 4Real24, Real Golf, indoors, anytime. Greensboro's premier 24/7 indoor golf facility offering iconic golf courses and state-of-the-art equipment. Get over there, even when I know it's 85 degrees today, which is very unusual for April. But go over and see Clay Jordan, who I don't know what course it was, but these are iconic courses that they play indoors. And he actually got a hole-in-one on a par 3, like 170-yard par 3 on one of the big courses. So they were. I saw that on Facebook. He was pretty excited about that. But he's the owner over there. Go see him, and please tell him that we sent you. And you can find them at 4real24.com. And then we got California Burrito Express and Bar, offering a full bar with margaritas, draft beer, and serving very generous portions of Mexican food in a spacious, casual setting. He's got all kinds of TVs to watch games, great food. Marco now has one. He's had one in Greensboro on Spring Garden Street. He now has one over on Stratford Street in Winston-Salem. He opened about 2 weeks ago. Please go visit him.
Excellent. So you got another location. That's awesome.
Yep.
We appreciate our sponsor. You want to be a sponsor, hit up Johnny. We're all on social media, or send us a message on social media, and you can be on here and help you with your business. All right, so Heat Hornets play-in game. When they first started the play-in tournament, I thought, this is stupid. It's like, but everyone makes the playoffs basically. I mean, not everybody, but I mean, most people make the playoffs now. They don't, but they were trying to, stop tanking, which that didn't work because the worst of the worst still tank. But man, we get a game like we did by the time this airs. This was last night when we're recording this. But man, what a fantastic, entertaining game with, I don't know what, 7 clutch shots by both teams in fourth quarter and overtime. The trade deadline, the Hornets picked up Kobe White, former Tar Heel, and they would run a play for him, fading away out of bounds to tie the game up so they could go into overtime. And the defense was great. I mean, they had like an inch to get that ball off and nothing but net. And then Tyler Hero missed a shot to overtime, to go into overtime. And then the Hornets in overtime try to pull a Duke Blue Devils.
They did.
Boozer. They let Hero hit a crazy, basically turnaround three from the corner nets. Okay, it was a great shot. LaMelo just has to cross over half court and then wait to be fouled. And he panicked and he turned the ball over. They went down, and then he fouled Hero shooting a three in the corner. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
That was not a foul, though. That was what a crap call that was, man.
That was weak. That was weak.
Yeah.
And Hero, of course, shoots 92% from the free throw line. He makes all three. And then LaMelo redeemed himself with a great drive to the basket that almost lipped out. It almost came out if you go back and watch. And then Mitchell sprinted down, who had 28 points last night for the Heat, so fast, and a great block at the end of the game to seal it.
Everything about that, man. Now, obviously we were at the Magic Johnson thing last night, so I got home for the fourth quarter of that game, and I was checking the score, and I go, oh, let's turn this on, and oh my God, that was pure action. And think about it, man, that was the play-in game of these playoffs. That was anyone that says, anyone that says the NBA sucks, okay, it's boring. Okay, just watch the playoffs. And that was proof last night. The play-in game, you even mentioned, they do play defense. They were going at it, man. I mean, and they don't call a lot of fouls. They let them play. It's ferocious, man. They're out. They're not worried about money when they're playing in the playoffs. They want to, get a chance to get one of those rings. And you mentioned your that Kobe White shot was one of the greatest shots I've ever seen in my life. Seriously, did you see how high he got off the ground? How did he make that shot, man? It was perfect. It was perfect.
And it wasn't a lucky shot. I mean, he really kind of saved them because they were kind of floundering earlier in the game. He played 26 minutes. He was 5 for 8 from three, including that incredible shot for 19 points. And he had to be because LaMelo Ball, who finished the year second in the league in three-pointers, made it, 272 threes, and Con Knipple had 273. That's pretty cool. First and second, first time since the Splash Brothers. He was 2 for 12 and 0 for 6 from three, and LaMelo was 2 for 16 from three.
16. Couldn't hit it.
They combined 2 for 24 from three, and it's one of those nights, one of those things. Yep. It's crazy. You're the stat guy, but you're like, man, 273 threes for Con Knipple is the most ever. First time a rookie ever led the NBA in three-pointers made, but still the record I think is 403 in one season by Steph Curry.
Jeez,
that's insane. He made 130, like 30% more than the record for this year.
1,200 points just on three-pointers. Man.
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
isn't that incredible? But no, but then the big story is Bam. I can't say his last name.
Adebayo.
He got hurt on a foul, where he was falling out of bounds, saved the ball. LaMelo Ball fell down and kind of grabbed his leg, and then he got injured like early in the game. And Spoelstra is not happy about it. What are your thoughts?
Man, I mean, I hate to think that LaMelo did that on purpose. I don't know if he was just grabbing, whatever. I mean, it's too quick a thinking of thinking I'm going to grab his legs and flip him, I mean, so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm a LaMelo Ball fan, man. When that man, I know he was just, the ball wasn't going in the basket for him, okay, but he controls the game. His ball handling is ridiculous. He never not dribbles between his legs, I mean, it's just constant, and it makes it look so easy. And he's 6'7", 6'8". I mean, he's a tall point guard. Love his game, exciting. I love the whole part of, you were just there, last week or a week ago. I love going to those Charlotte games, and now they're finally, they're good, and they got, 3 or 4 solid players. But that place can rock when I mean, you saw the fans. I'm so happy they kept showing. The fans were going crazy, man. They were all over each other. And the best part of that is they're playing as a team. And, you saw it at the end of that game, man. I think there's a lot of love going on, man. And this coach, Charles Lee, I have no idea where he came from, who he is. He's a 41-year-old dude, and he has turned that team into, obviously, a playoff team. and he's got them playing together. And I tell you what, the last well, really the second half of the season, the Charles Barkleys of the world, the Shaqs of the world, they're saying, look out for these Hornets, man. They've been excited about them too. So I'm real excited that Charlotte has a winning team going here, and I would love to see that continue.
Well, since All-Star break, they've won 66% of their games. If they could have started that season that way, that's a 50-plus win team, and they're not having to go into the play-in tournament, which, Johnny, you're right. You got the play-in tournament off the air, right? But explain for other people who they could end up playing, or who they do end up playing next.
Oh, yeah. So Orlando and the 76ers are playing tonight. There's 4 teams in the play-in games in the East, and then 4 over in the West. And they're fighting for 7 and 8 seed, in the regular playoffs, I guess, not the play-in. So now Charlotte needed the win, or they would have been out of it yesterday. So Miami's gone. Charlotte wins. Now they play the loser of the Orlando and the 76ers game. The winner of the Orlando 76ers game is automatically the 7 seed. And then Charlotte will play the loser. Let's say it's Orlando. Say they play tomorrow, and whoever wins that game is the official 8 seed, and then the official playoffs start on Saturday.
You explained it perfectly. So basically now in the NBA, you want to be one of the top 6 seeds to be guaranteed a 7-game series, and the rest is because you could what's funny is you can be a 7 or 8 seed and not make the playoffs, like the playoffs, which is it's wild to me. Yep. But I still don't know if I like it, but I do like that these one and done games. I think we talked about it in the podcast, or maybe somebody told me. No, it was one of my friends said, if you want to make the NBA playoffs, either you said it or a friend said it, super interesting, have it be 1-game series.
Ooh,
one and done. I mean, of course,
you know what you would get? Games like last night, because that was a 1 and done, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Make it like March Madness, but make it May Madness or something like that, or something like that. But there's too much money with TV and the 7 games and the history and all that the NBA would ever.
Money always interferes with things.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Do we have any more sponsors before going on to our last segment?
No, that's our only sponsors. But let's give a little love to Miles Bridges. He was unbelievable. Brandon Miller. He was their number 1 or first round pick. A couple years ago. He's turning into a player. And of course, Con Knippel just had a horrible game yesterday. But did you see him on the bench? It wasn't bothering him. Kobe White stepped up, took care of him, and hopefully they're going to need Con Knippel next game, or especially if they make it into the next round, which would be they would play Detroit, which is the number 1 seed. But they're solid. You're talking 4, 5, 6 really good players on that team, and anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Well, so typically, a Carolina player has to bail out a Duke player, all the time. So I mean, I will say that. Yes, of course. I will say this. I do think, and I don't think it's overstating it, I do think if Charlotte makes it into the playoffs, Detroit wants no part of that team. Detroit's great, but Cade Cunningham's banged up. I don't know if he's even back yet, but if he is, he's still banged up. He's been out. I mean, Detroit would obviously be favored, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went 6 or 7 games.
That would be interesting. I hope it happens. So, good stuff. NBA, baby.
All right, so the Masters, you have a back-to-back winner, Rory McIlroy. I know golf is you love all sports, but golf is one of your favorite things. And what does this, to you, does this cement his legacy as a back-to-back champion?
Everyone's always thought of Rory as being that next guy, after Tiger. I mean, but, of course they compare, well, how come he doesn't have 10 already, 10 majors or whatever. But he has had a little bit of a lull a few years ago, but his last 2 years, Jared, not only winning the Masters, but winning a few of these other tournaments and, get right there with Scotty Scheffler, who, has dominated the last, really 3 years in on the PGA. But I said it on I do have another podcast, Between the Shanks. And of course, Steve, who's my co-host, freaked out about this. I said, Rory is right there with Scotty Scheffler now. Scheffler he's still doing great, and but he has kind of stepped back a little bit the last month or so. And Rory's on a roll right now, on a heater. And I'm just saying, look out. And that's what golf needs. Two
Yeah.
guys going head to head. Remember like when Tiger and Phil Mickelson would go head to head. So I'm hoping he does. I'm not a huge fan of Rory. His little strut kind of bothers me a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's a good guy. He's a classy guy, and the sweetest swing in golf. And he just hits the hell out of the ball. Look out for him, because he is now the reason why he won this second one in a row. From last year to this year, he was so relaxed. The monkey was off his back or whatever. And if he can play like that for the next 3 years, look out for him, man. He's going to win a couple more majors and a lot of tournaments. So I'm happy for him. But again, I'm still a big Scheffler fan. I'm a Justin Rose fanatic. I love that guy. I just love classy guys that play the game right and say all the right things, even though I almost won $680 on DraftKings with Justin Rose, but he didn't win, and I should have cashed out. At one time, the cash out was $275, but I was in on the bet with my brother Rick, and he goes, "Oh, let it ride," and I should have took it. I should have hedged it and took that $275 and ran, man.
Dang it, Rick! Look at Rick. They say this: pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered, and Rick got you guys slaughtered. You could have got fed. Could have got fed. I've been there though. I had a cash out. Before with a NBA parlay, it was like $80, but if I kept going, it'd be like $1,000 because one of these crazy 13 leg parlays, and I missed it by like one rebound, and I'm like, so I got nothing, but I lost $10, so it wasn't the end of the world. But still, it's like 80 would have been better, 100, whatever it was, would have been better. Yeah, I mean, for me, I agree 100%. If you have two superstars that we're going into a tournament when it's like you said, Tiger and Phil and things of that nature. I mean, with Scheffler, would he lose by one stroke?
Scheffler made the big. He was making a little bit of a charge and ended up in second place by one stroke.
And he had some complaint saying that the PGA screwed him in that tournament. I don't know. I didn't really follow what that was. I didn't know if you knew what it was. If not, that's fine. But he was kind of complaining about something that was going on at the Masters, but I'm not sure what it was.
Scheffler?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to check that out. I didn't know.
Press conference, he was saying, they said there's some headline where he was saying that, I shouldn't have brought it up. I didn't have it in front of me, but I didn't know if you had seen that or not. Or maybe it was fake news. I don't know. I have no idea.
I like the way you said fake news.
Fake news. So very cool. For me, this has nothing to do with our podcast, but I'm excited for Bus Boys coming out with Theo Vaughn and David Spade. Just throwing that out.
Oh, yeah.
For no reason. Yeah. It reminded me because I know you're a big Bert Kreischer fan.
Yeah.
Or pretty big. And I saw him at Tanger on Sunday, and he posted today for people to go see Bus Boys. But all those guys are funny. I don't know why I thought about that. I think I was thinking of Happy Gilmore, Happy Gilmore. Then I thought about Sandler, then Spade, and it went on to anyway.
Well, give me a real quick review. How was he on his stand up at Tanger?
I think we talked about Bert Kreischer. How I thought he's funny. I think he's great on his podcast. I did interview him recently, and he was really, really great, like a great person to interview. So easy and made it fun. But we both watched that show Free Bert on Netflix.
Terrific.
And he won me over. I love that guy now. And so I went on Sunday, and he murdered for an hour. And the great storytelling, he comes out right away, takes his shirt off. He's lost 50 pounds on Ozempic. But the way he talks about Ozempic is freaking hilarious. Did a little crowd work here and there. He's just a pro, man. And he just nailed it. I mean, it was very, very fun. By the way, Johnny.
Wait a minute. He dropped 50 pounds?
Yeah. Well, he has he got a clot in his leg, and the doctor's like, you got to lose weight, dude. And you can't drink. He can't drink for 6 months. So we talked about that too. So he was like, you might get a different show tonight because I can't drink and I'm down 50 pounds because I have a leg clot or a blood clot in my leg that was scary. And so they said, I'm not doing anything. So, and this is a side note. I know you like stand-up comedy. Do you know the comedian legend George Wallace?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming to our area. He's here tonight, but he's going to be here all weekend. I might have some tickets for you if you want to go.
Oh my gosh. Yes, please. This coming weekend, please let me know.
Saturday at 9. So he's going to be at the Comedy Zone, but he used to be roommates with Jerry Seinfeld for like 13 years. They're best friends.
I did not know that. And I know a lot about Jerry Seinfeld. I'm like a groupie of his. I've seen Seinfeld 8 times live.
Have you really?
I have. I have.
I love stand-up comedy. I have no idea why I brought this up now. It doesn't even need to be on the podcast, but it's our podcast. We do what we want. But but yeah, George Wallace is hilarious. I've been watching some of his clips, but he's been friends with Seinfeld for years. They're still friends. Like Seinfeld's like, if he needs to borrow his jet, lets him borrow his jet. But yeah, they were roommates in the 70s into the 80s. Oh, yeah, for a long time. So anyway,
what'd you do? You interviewed him on your show?
He's coming in studio tomorrow.
Oh, that's great.
He's a legend, man. George Wallace. He's done everything.
The Jared and Katie morning show, man. I'm telling you, you guys get some great guests. Some of the interviews you guys do, and it's good stuff. If you're not listening, like most people in the triad are listening to you, it sure seems the numbers are there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate it, man. But anyway, that's our random segment of the day. I don't know. Start talking about stand up and comedians and all. So I guess I've been thinking about it, but yeah.
Well, you hear me, and I'm so damn funny, and we're all part of that fraternity of comedians.
Well, and then I know you like stand up, and so I thought I got 4 tickets. So I'm like, ooh, I'll ask you because sometimes I forget how much you love comedy. And then I think we both were at Sebastian Maniscalco in Charlotte.
Yep,
we didn't even know until afterwards. You're like, you were there? Yep. Like, yeah, I was there too. And it's like, all right, I got to get you some tickets.
All right, put my name on those.
I will.
All right, man. Good show. Thank you very much. See you next week.
Overtime pay. We're talking the overtime play. The big stories, the big plays, the big drama. We got Jeremy and Johnny.